Mr. Chair, yung second batch actually na-post na rin sa Facebook noong Desyembre at summary lang naman po.
No, I'm referring to the Blue Ribbon Committee records. No? Yung Facebook, hindi naman pwedeng gawin record ng Blue Ribbon.
Mr. Chair, if the good congressman will be the one to identify or talk about the contents of the files, I don't think he is competent because he is not part of the DPWH. He is not even a staff of DPWH. He has nothing to do with the preparation of the entries, the consolidation of the reports. He has no personality to testify. I think what he can testify is limited only on how he was able to obtain the files from DPWH, particularly from the office of Yusek Cabral.
I would be glad to answer any questions that you might have, specifically on the contents of the Cabral files. I also understand that DPWH is here, so perhaps they would be also well positioned to lead the discussion. But with Secretary Manny Bonoan here also, I believe this is a great opportunity to learn more about how the system of the budget allocations have worked. And I have here a printout of the list of over 17,000 projects, and they are actually divided into 12 major tags. Mr. Chair, it would be worth reading the major tags. There is a allocable of 401.3 billion, BINI 10 of 6 billion, BIP on top of 33.4 billion, Senti 2025 of 100 billion, F1 of 10 billion, N1 Prio 1 of 20 billion, non-allocable of 61.5 billion, OPESAP of 8 billion, OT2 of 21.27 billion, Sandy of 14 billion, Senators of 20.5 billion, and SMB/others of 25.6 billion. This is based, sir, on the copy that I obtained, as well as another copy that I have seen that was separately obtained from the DPWH.
Yeah, may we ask the DPWH, are you familiar with the documents read out by Congressman Leviste?
No, Mr. Chair. We have no copy of
If you are shown
this
a copy, can you attest to the authenticity of the document? Page, pakibigay nga isang kopya sa kay Undersecretary Bernabe.
Actually, this is just a printout po.
Mr. Chair, if I may also call in Yusek Nick Conti from our planning service.
Please take your seat. With your indulgence, Congressman, para lang makita natin kung properly authenticated ng DPWH. In the meantime, the members can ask questions while waiting for the DPWH to examine the documents.
Mr. Chair, while the DPWH is also here, we also have the budget per district summary, which was also obtained from them, that maybe the page can also give them.
Mr. Chair, we are comparing the documents now, and what we have is the second batch of documents pertaining to the district allocations budget allocations per district. As to the first set of files given to us, we have no personal knowledge of these files.
Can you make a quick perusal para ma-determine nyo alin ba dyan yung pwede nyo agad na masabing ang source talaga DPWH at masabi nyo hindi yung iba? Kung hindi naman, we can you can do it at a later date, kung gusto niyo iuwi as
Mr. Chair,
homework.
ito pong pangalawang set of files we can validate. Ito po yung hawak ko ngayon. Ito pong first set, we will have to look into this. But I would surmise baka ito po yung galing sa computer ni late Undersecretary Cabral.
So yung second batch, we can allow him to proceed, to
Yes, Mr. Chair.
digest o kaya iparinig sa atin sa public hearing na ito kung ano yung nilalaman. Yung second batch daw, okay lang.
Mr. Chair, yung second batch actually na-post na rin sa Facebook noong Desyembre at summary lang naman po.
No, I'm referring to the Blue Ribbon Committee records. Yung Facebook, hindi naman pwedeng gawin record ng Blue Ribbon. So you can discuss the second batch of documents if you wish. If not, then it's okay. so we can proceed.
I'd be happy to answer any questions na lang that you may have po. But may I also add, Mr. Chair, that...
Mr. Chair, sandali. Mr. Chair, if the good congressman will be the one to identify or talk about the contents of the files, I don't think he is competent because he is not part of the DPWH. He is not even a staff of DPWH. He has nothing to do with the preparation of the entries, the consolidation of the reports. He has no personality to testify. I think what he can testify is limited only on how he was able to obtain the files from DPWH, particularly from the office of Yusek Cabral. At least, from legal standpoint, it is not proper for the congressman to identify or make any explanation as to the contents of the files. He will be incompetent. First of all, I don't think these files which he got has been authenticated by the DPWH. As I can see, they are refusing to render the authentication.
Na-authenticate nila yung second batch. Yun ang nire-refer ko na pwedeng i-discuss based on his own analysis.
Yes,
Yung second batch that he submitted, authenticated na.
So, yes, Mr. Chair, that is one I would like to ask them. How do you authenticate? Is this a public record or a private record?
This is of public record, Mr. Chair. This is
So
a summary
how do you,
of...
Kasi under the law, ang authenticate lang doon sa inano ng Supreme Court sa rules ng electronic evidence, mga private documents lang. Considering, Mr. Chair, that these are public documents, will you please tell us the manner by which you identify or authenticate public documents?
Mr. Chair, we are just authenticating that these documents emanated from the DPWH. These summaries of
Wala ba
the...
siyang considering that these are digital records, wala bang digital signature? Yun lang, pag meron digital signature by any way, I think the committee will accept it.
Walang digital signature, Mr. Chair. However, we have knowledge of the
The
authorship
digital
of
signature, hindi naman yung signature talaga eh. There are various ways by which these documents can be categorized as having digitally signed, not necessarily the signature of whoever is the custodian of that document. You understand? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
The Vice Chairman is recognized. And then Senator Bam.
Yeah, I would just like to ask former Secretary Bunoan.
By the way, deferred na yung 10 or 15 minutes natin, ha? Labo-labo na ito. Whoever wants to ask questions, you may just call the attention of the Chair.
Mr. Chair, I would just like to ask Secretary Bunoan, have you seen these files, sir? Do you have any idea? Kasi Yusek ho ninyo si Cabral na nasa possession niya po itong documents ito. Do you have a copy of these files, of these documents? Have you seen these documents?
I have not seen anything. I have not seen any of these documents that we are talking about, Your Honor.
Yusek Bernabe show Secretary Bunoan, former Secretary Bunoan.
Teka muna, si Asek ba o Yusek Conti?
With the kind permission of the Honorable Chairman, I'm Nicasio A. Conti, the Undersecretary who replaced former Yusek Cabral.
Administer lang namin yung oath ninyo.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Secretariat.
Kindly raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Please take your seat. Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Erwin.
Former Secretary Bunoan, can you identify these documents? Kasi Undersecretary niyo siya, I'm sure you also have a copy or you have knowledge of these files?
And this document that has been shown to me looks familiar to me, Your Honor. This is the this is a consolidation of the allocables, the computed allocable per district. And well, there are other information here, including what has been the total allocation as for the total allocation from the General Appropriations Act.
Mr. Chairman, may I, that is a list, total allocation. My question is, was it released? That list, yan, hawak ninyo yan, sinabi na galing daw sa file, listahan yan. District yan, per district. Listahan lang yan. Ano ba yan? Sinabit lang sa GAA, nasa GAA o nasa NEP, and then na-release ba?
That I would
Nagawa
not know.
ba?
That I would not know.
That is, I think, what the more important question to ask, not just a list.
I just, I am saying, Your Honor, that looks familiar to me, but as far as these items were released, I would not have any information about it, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Bam.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, has the committee established how the list was acquired? Hindi pa. Nakapagkwento na ba si Congressman Leviste? May we know, Congressman Leviste, how you acquired the list?
On September 4, with Yusek Cabral, after she had a phone call on speakerphone with Secretary Vince Dizon, and I also had my phone on speakerphone, and I believe that my mother also spoke with Secretary Vince Dizon that night. And Secretary Vince Dizon said that these are public documents and that all of them can be shared not only with me, but with the public.
And were these given to you as a printout, or was this a file that was emailed to you?
The printout that I have sent there with a timestamp September 9, 6:03 p.m. was a hard copy. And I also got a soft copy of that printout.
From?
From the office of Yusek Cabral, with Yusek Cabral present.
Okay, so yung email na pinanggalingan nung listahan is from a government employee or from an official email of the DPWH?
Soft copy was given to me.
Sorry, USB ba or it was
Yes.
emailed to you?
USB.
Okay, so may binigay sa yung hard copy at may binigay sa yung USB with all of these files.
Yes, my USB was the one that got the files.
Okay, so binigay mo yung USB mo kay Undersecretary Cabral at kinopya niya from her computer.
It was my USB from their computer in the presence of Yusek Cabral.
Yes, but you have to. We just want to establish how the information arrived to the committee, no? So could you share with us how it arrived here? So binigyan ka ng hard copy, and how did you get the soft copy?
In the presence of Yusek Cabral, I asked if I could get a soft copy of it, and my USB, after a few minutes, because it wasn't readily with me, was brought by my staff, and it was also seen on CCTV that we were coming in and out of the office. And that time, Yusek Cabral was with us. And that was after a phone conversation with Secretary Vince Dizon.
Okay, so yung USB mismo, nilagay mo sa computer ni Yusek Cabral, and you transferred the file to your USB.
In
Correct?
the office of Yusek Cabral.
In her computer?
In the Planning Services office computer.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin yan, there should be a copy in DPWH as well because may pinanggalingan yung files na yon. Correct, Congressman Levis, no?
Yes, and after your line of questioning, Mr. Senator, I also have here the names of the encoders that are also noted on each line of the file.
So DPWH can verify. I don't think you can verify that right now by just looking at the hard copy. The best way to verify is to go back to your computer, check it there, and makikita kung totoo nga ba ito. Correct, no?
Mr. Chair, can we share our version of what transpired last September 4? Now, what was reported to us that happened September 4 was that when Congressman Leviste came to DPWH and he was asking for the district allocation per district budget allocation. And this was the one authorized by Secretary Dizon. And that's the second batch of documents given to us, shown to us, and which we are validating. Afterwards, what was reported was that the Congressman Leviste went to the computer and got files from Secretary Cabral's computer. We are not certain what files were acquired. Right after that, we secured the computer. It was sealed off, taken off to ensure that it remains intact and hindi na po siya matamper. And last December, the Ombudsman issued a subpoena, including that CPU, which we immediately turned over to the Ombudsman on the same day, including all printouts of the letter request in his office. And as of this moment, that CPU, which remained untouched as of September 4, is with the Ombudsman.
So only the Ombudsman can actually verify. Is that what you're saying, Yusek Bernabé?
That is correct, Mr.
Only the
Chair.
Ombudsman can verify because the computer is with them.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Correct, no? Thank you,
Congressman
Mr.
Leviste
Chair.
would like to respond.
May I also kindly add that I believe there are two other groups that also have soft copies of this same file. One is the office of Senator LACSON, who I understand obtained it from the lawyer of the family of Yusek Cabral. And the second is Billionario News Channel, who must have obtained it from some other source within DPWH separate from me. And I have seen another soft copy of the file, which has a slightly different file name than my file, and it is, as I have seen, exactly the same. So the public can be assured that it's not solely reliant on my copy of the file because there are multiple groups that also have a copy of the file.
Mr. Chair.
But was just for just to clarify, you know, the files that were given to me by the lawyer of the late Undersecretary, ito yung SARO, dated December 27, 2024. 50 billion plus, 30 billion of which flood control projects. And when we cross-check with the records, may mga ghost flood control projects doon. Pero I just found out na incomplete yung, kasi may doon sa SARO na yon, ang total doon nasa mga 100 plus billion, hindi lang 50 billion. Coming from, I think, 155 billion, yung whole universe. So hindi kumpleto yung aking files. Yun lang binigay sa akin personally or through an intermediary nung lawyer ni late Undersecretary.